Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 21 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Maria Elena Orbia, Marianne Miller, and Mark Armstrong. Thank you all so much for the support, even though I'm not good at pronouncing people's names, but we could not do this without you, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you again so much, and if you guys want to be house guests of the day, like this lovely bunch, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, Jackson won HOH. This was his third win. Was it a mistake to keep him in the double? Anyway, everyone went upstairs for Jackson's HOH room reveal, and on his way out of the DR, when he was all, "Who wants to see my HOH room?" he broke the damn diary room door. Anyway, before they went in, Jackson said in front of everybody that he asked the diary room if Nicole could keep her pictures for the rest of the week, because if not, he was gonna ask if he could swap his for hers so that she could have hers longer. So it was kind of unclear what the exact outcome was at first, because Big Brother blocked the feeds when he started talking about this. Why can't we hear that? And the bottom line here is Nicole gets to keep her photos for the week, and it sounds like Jackson does as well. That was really nice of him to ask, but I hate saying this. I just feel like whenever he does something nice, he has to like announce it in front of everyone and be like, "Look at the nice good thing I did. I'm so great, right?" Is there a camera on me right now? Right? Okay, I mean, I hate to say that, but it's just what I've seen and felt. Okay, so then, surprise! Jackson got more watermelons. I believe it was 9 this time. He got pictures of his friends and his dog Maggie, very cute. And he requested Backstreet Boys' greatest hits for his music. For Nicole, okay, that was really sweet of him. He didn't have to do that. I think that was a really nice move on his part, because, you know, this is his third HOH, and Nicole won hers during the double, so she doesn't get the full HOH experience. So I thought that was really nice of him to do that. He also got this, like, I want this like pottery elephant from, I think he said it was from his grandma. Some sunglasses, a visor, bacon brittle, a blanket from Pop TV, shit ton of protein bars, of course, a letter from his friend Duff, and something was edited out of the letter. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was too game related or like outside worlds. I don't know. Big Brother didn't want him to hear it, and he was like, "Ooh, there's something edited out here." So then, oh, the feed's cut, and when they came back, Jackson was reading his letter from the beginning again. I guess they're like, "Yeah, we don't want you talking about that on the show, so you're gonna have to start reading it again so we don't have to cut around that." Anyway, Jackson offered the HOH room to Nicole, and she said no at first, but then everybody was like, "Come on, take it, do it, do it." So she eventually agreed to sleep up there at least one night. Aww. Okay, so then Cliff got the first game chat with Jackson and Holly in the HOH room after everybody hung out for a bit. So Cliff says, "Tomorrow is huge. It's all coming down to this power of veto this week. They figure it's gonna be Big Brother Comics. It is. They're so right." So they say that Tommy realizes at this point that it's 4-on-1. Duh. So they also think this is a competition that Tommy could potentially do really well in. He might win this one because he's athletic, he's got a brain, he's got a good chance to win this one and save himself. So Jackson says, "I'm gonna play as hard as I can for this power veto. Like, yes, I'm HOH this week and I'm safe, but if someone in his alliance is on the block, it's the equivalent of him being on the block." And just to remind you guys, either Cliff or Nicole will be going up next to Tommy, because Jackson's not gonna put Holly up. So he's gotta put up somebody from their final 4. So Cliff says, "We just need one person to get a better time than Tommy, and we'll be all right. We'll get rid of Tommy and we'll make it to the final 4 just like we planned." So Cliff says, "Obviously I know Holly's not gonna be going up this week. of course. He says he doesn't care if he's the pawn against Tommy because it doesn't matter. It all comes down to the veto. And he says if Tommy doesn't win, Tommy's gone. If Tommy does win, he and Nicole are going to be up on the block against each other anyway. They're just hoping it's not going to come to that because they don't want to have to make that decision. So then Holly leaves and Jackson and Cliff are talking alone and they just start kissing each other's butts. Oh my God. Cliff is like, Jackson, you've won so many comps. You've done such a great job. You deserve to win this thing. Like the whole thing. And Jackson says, no, you deserve to win. No, you deserve to win. They're also talking about how they're so happy to be working together and they just felt like this bond in the beginning and felt like it could work, and now here they are. That's great. So Jackson says no matter what happens this week, he does not want Cliff to go anywhere, if that makes sense. I feel like Jackson's been saying, does that make sense? If that makes sense. Like a million times this past week or so, week and a half, I don't know. But it reminds me so much of Kaylin from Big Brother Canada 7. Remember, she would always say like, does that make sense? You get me? You get what I'm saying? He's turning into Kaylin! Ah! So, translation here. If Tommy wins the veto, Jackson wants Nicole to go, not Cliff. Damn! Oh my God. So Jackson says Cliff deserves to be there. I'm sure he's also threatened by how well liked Nicole is. I mean, Nicole is like universally liked, and she just gave herself a huge thing on her resume, winning that double eviction and taking out Christy. So I'm sure he's scared of going up against Nicole in the final two. Yeah, so then Jackson and Tommy chat next, and Jackson says, I know that Holly and I were probably your targets last week, and Tommy confirms this, and he says, I'm sure Christy and I were your targets too. You know, we'll never know what would have really happened because Nicole won HOH, so we didn't have to make that decision. But Jackson says, you and Christy were not our targets, just Christy. So Tommy says, yeah, that's fair, I get it. So then Jackson is talking about how disheartening it was to hear Christy swear on her sister and the Bible that she would never vote against Jackson or Holly, she would never nominate them, and that she would gladly take 5th place. And then they hear she's telling other people that she's targeting them. Come on, that's your freaking fault if you believe her when she says that she'd be fine taking 5th place. Come on! Seriously, if I was them, I would just be mad at myself for falling for that crap because that's ridiculous. So Tommy's like, okay, well, how do you know that she was really targeting you though? Like he said, they didn't win HOH, so who knows what would have really happened there. And Tommy says, those people, Cliff and Nicole, that were telling you that Christy said she was going to target you, they were saying things to us too about you guys. So, caught! Jackson admits, yeah, it was like a standoff with the 3 duos. What? So he really thought that he was getting away with playing the middle last week and that Tommy and Christy didn't know about it. Come on. So you could see the look on Jackson's face. He was just like, when Tommy was talking about this. So Tommy says, we were only targeting you and Holly because we saw that you were playing the middle. You know, we saw when Cliff and Nicole would wait until late at night to meet up with you guys up in the HOH room and like strategize or whatever. So we have eyes. We saw those things happening. They thought they was so sly. So Tommy says, naturally you get mad at the people that are playing both sides. You want to take them out. So Jackson says, yeah, well, everybody was playing everybody and everybody's doing the same shit. Yeah, okay, it's true, but like it's funny that now he realizes, oh crap, we were not as secretive as we thought we were. Okay, so then Jackson is breaking down his strategy behind taking out Sis and Jess during his first 2 HOHs, because like when you look at it, those were pretty lame moves. But he's telling Tommy, I wasn't targeting them because I needed like them out. They weren't threats to me, but he was trying to take numbers away from Nick and Christy, who were big threats. So he's like, oh, it's chestnut checkers, blah, blah, blah. It's like playing backgammon, whatever. I feel like he was almost in a way trying to like plead his case to Tommy if he were to be on the jury. Right? I mean, you only get so much time on finale night to explain your game. So maybe he's trying to tell Tommy, like, look how smart this was. So then they discuss the nominations for this week, and Jackson's like, I'm not gonna put up Holly, duh. But Tommy agrees, like, it's fine. Nominations don't matter. It's all gonna come down to the power of veto. Everybody knows that. So Tommy says, I get the position that I'm in right now. It's 4 versus 1 going into this veto. He says he's got to fight for it. And he says, even if I don't win the power of veto, I am not going to give up. He's going to do anything he can to stay. And Jackson says, yeah, you shouldn't give up. Definitely fight. Fight to stay. Okay, so then Cliff and Nicole were chatting in the bathroom area. And they know that one of them will be going up on the block. But it's all about the veto, baby. So they say it would be amazing and ideal if whichever one of them isn't up on the block wins the veto and then saves the other one. And then they're both safe just for peace of mind. You know, Holly would go up on the block, but they're not talking about voting her out. I mean, you could. That would be amazing. It would be so freaking sick. Because just think about it. It's not going to happen. But just think about it. Okay, if they got rid of Holly, next week we're down to 4. So Jackson can't play in the next HOH competition, which doesn't really matter anyway because the HOH is just safe for the week. But he would still have a shot at the veto. So, what was I going to say? Oh, but think about this. Without Holly there, that means he's only going to be playing for himself. If Holly was there and she won the veto, she could keep Jackson safe. But say if like Tommy won the veto, he's probably gonna get rid of Jackson. So I think it'd be really smart if they were in that situation where they could get Holly on the block to vote her out. But I don't think they would do it. It'd be so sick though! Okay, so then Nicole and Cliff are talking about how they're so proud that they've stuck together this whole time. And Ovi must be so proud of them. Fellowship of the Zing. Yeah, I think he's pretty proud of them from what I've seen on social media. And Cliff says, you know what? Even if Tommy wins the power veto and one of us does end up going, at least we've left our mark on the game, right? I mean, that double eviction win was so big for Nicole, so big for her, like, happiness. I don't know that she would be able to say the same thing if she hadn't won that HOH, because it's done so much for her confidence. She feels like she's contributed something to the game. If she hadn't won that, I feel like she would be really disappointed if she were to go without winning anything. So anyway, they feel really good about the games that they've played, and they're honored to be in the final 5. Okay, so then it's time for the nomination ceremony, and Jackson put up Cliff and Tommy for eviction. No drama. I mean, like we've heard and said a million times, it's about the veto this week. So then nothing too exciting for the rest of yesterday. Nicole apologized for Jackson for not talking to him before nominations. She has been on such a high since she won the HOH that she forgot that nominations were even happening for a while. So she just like fell asleep and took a nap. And then before she knew it, it was time for nominations and she hadn't talked to him. And he's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, it's all good. So yeah, Nicole slept up in the HOH room. Tommy slept in the have not room. Not because he's like being weird, but he's saying it's cooler in there and he likes that. Okay, so today everybody's pumping themselves up for this veto because it is so important. But the biggest pumper-upper is Cliff. He says he's leaving it all on the dance floor. Even if he can't breathe, he's gonna keep going. Even if he breaks bones, he's gonna keep going. Even if he tears tendons, he's gonna keep going. He says he's not leaving anything in the tank. If he finishes this competition and he's not like completely wiped out, he's gonna feel like he did not do the best he could. So, woo, he's really gonna go for it. Meanwhile, Tommy's up in the HOH room with Jackson and Holly, And Jackson and Holly cannot stop talking crap about Christy and how awful she is. All of her lies. Holly even calls Christy a sociopath. Really? This is a freaking game, and I did not see any sociopathic behavior there. Stop. But how awkward is that for Tommy to hear them talk so much trash about his childhood friend and his aunt's ex of 7 years. So after like this never-ending stream of all this crap talk about Christy, Tommy says, I want to tell you guys something. And he starts to get emotional. He says, I knew Christy before coming into this house. So Jackson says, really? And Tommy says, mm-hmm. Holly inserts foot into mouth. Oh, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I was talking so much crap about her, I'm sorry. And Tommy's like, no, it's okay, it's okay. They promised that they're not gonna tell anybody. Tommy reveals that Christy's ex-girlfriend that she was talking about all the time, that's his aunt. And the feeds cut briefly. When they come back, Tommy says, I had to go with it because of who she was. So then he's like, ugh. And Jackson and Holly are both hugging him. That's all we got to hear from that conversation. Because then the feeds cut, and when they came back, they were on not this convo. But Tommy was in the HOH room for like half an hour. And they were talking about this. Are you kidding me? Really cool that we didn't get to see this. So, yeah, I'm really surprised that Tommy chose to reveal this. I honestly was looking forward to the reveal on finale night, but even from a game point, it's a little bit like, really? First of all, I guess Tommy wanted to maybe justify why he was so loyal to Christy, because Holly and Jackson keep bringing it up over and over and over again, what a liar she is and everything. So I guess he wanted to be like, I don't condone that. I'm like basically related to her, so that's what that is. I don't know, maybe he's also trying to gain their trust and or sympathy. I don't know. Is anybody gonna tell Cliff and Nicole? They're in the dark right now. So yeah, was it a mistake? I remember how much everyone was freaking out on Holly and Kat on day 44 about them barely knowing each other. Is this gonna hurt Tommy if he makes it to the final two? I don't know. I mean, there's a possibility too that he wanted to tell them before they potentially found out in the jury house from Christy, because I find it a little bit hard to believe that she's gonna be able to keep her mouth shut in there. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of crazy though that he revealed this big secret. I don't know if he just blew up his game, but we'll see. So the feeds went down for the Power Veto competition. Everyone is playing. It's BB Comics. Get excited. Let me know in the comments who you're rooting for, and check back later for the results because I will post the winner in the info box below. Yeah, this Power Veto is going to determine a lot, so we'll see what happens. And I can't wait to hear about everyone's comics because that is so much fun. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow, and until then, much love.